Well, you're gonna have to look at
Try to
your
refresh.
All right, go ahead and refresh. All right, you got to go sit down there and read. Are you really gonna read We the People?
I have to. It's a grade.
All right. Oh, all right.
If I don't study
Go
that
for it, buddy.
chapter, I get 50%.
But I think I'm gonna have to turn this off. Go ahead, buddy. Hit it up, because I think we're live.
What rules did the delegates adopt for the convention? On Friday, May 25th, 1787, 11 days after the convention was scheduled to begin, delegates from a majority of the state were presented in Philadelphia. Anything?
Hey, are you starting again? I need to see that calendar.
Yeah. You're on.
No, I don't think so.
I went to a black screen, but no voice, no audio at all. He said I went to a black screen with no audio at all.
George, you have anything? Can you hear me though? Because I see green coming up like it's catching my voice.
That means no speakers.
Yeah, but we don't.
Who's Jay?
Jason McMillan. He's the only one who's on. I'm only showing J-Mac. Schwalder's in now. Test, test, test. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Test.
Test. Is Mr. Arts watching you do this? But there's nothing to say.
Just sound like I didn't study it.
Yeah, that should work. Just hey, when you put it on, you really have to rub it. I think people are like being too gentle with it.
Do you want me to keep reading in case you can't hear it? Like Steve
Yeah,
read?
keep reading. I'll vouch for you
Steve
that
just
you
went
read it.
down. Steve just went down.
You just went down? I'm surprised it isn't hitting up with this camera.
Oh, no.
Join the call? No, didn't join the call.
Oh,
Mr. Edwards, could you come over and see something else that I find peculiar?
Okay.
The way I'm screening is
we're in the bottom right.
I see. Stephen watching us, sir?
Yes, he is.
Stephen Schwalber?
I don't know if you can hear us, but he's watching us.
I hope Steve can hear me.
Dad, can you hear me?
Dad Schwalber.
Dad Schwater.
Something to sit down on.
Where'd that big chair go? I wasn't here last year.
It's
Let me just try to- See that, Dad? We got some staples.
Can you hear us? Oh, you can hear it all up.
Test, can you hear us?
Can you hear me, Dad?
Yeah, that's what he just said. Hey, try the new light, George.
Toy Story.
They can't hear you, so roll.
No, we were talking about Dad Schwater.
No, no, no.
Every kid loves toys.
No, he's got to read that from Mr. Arts. Come on, get ahead.
After electing George Washington president of the convention, the delegates appointed a committee to draw up the rules for the meeting. The next Monday and Tuesday, the delegates adopted the following key rules to govern their debates. Delegates from at least 7 states had to present for the convention to do business each day. If a delegate's absence would leave a state without representation, then he had to get permission to be absent. When rising to speak, a delegate had to address the president. While he was speaking, other members could not pass notes, hold conversations with one another, or read a book, pamphlet, or paper. A member was not allowed to speak more than twice on the same question. He could not speak the second time until every other member had a first opportunity to speak on the subject. Committees could be appointed as necessary. Any decision made by the convention was subject to reconsideration and change. No decision had to be final until the entire plan was completed. The convention's proceedings were to remain secret. No delegate could dissolve the substance of the debates, although they were allowed to take notes. Had it not been for Madison, who attended nearly every session and kept careful notes that would be published after his death, probably little would be known about what happened during this convention. The rules established for the basis of the civil discourse, a reasoned discussion in which every member has the opportunity to speak on any question, in which no individual's voice can drown out the ideas of others, and in which listening matters as much as speaking. In the discussion, ideas and proposals introduced later had the opportunity to alter decisions already made. This rule was essential because each provision of a constitution is related to many others. Yes.
Why?
Test everybody's sound.
Okay. Cool. Why would you read something boring? We the people, we're curious.
I
have
have Toy Story right here.
Read Toy Story.
I have to, or I'm gonna get another 50 in the grade book. Today's my study day. Can be present tomorrow.
Yeah, but Miss Earth isn't watching this, so
No,
it's
we're
not.
not.
She told me to. Oh, by the way, I have to eat some guys' lunch tomorrow. Because
Take
I-
my spot. We'll be here. Dude, no, read pretty cool. Read Toy Story.
Can you make it bigger?
It's my old family. Steve's listening.
I know, we just never, that's what we
Oh, I
found
see
out.
Mr. Gildersleeve. We see you, Gildersleeve.
We can actually see him when we hear him. Yeah, it was a wave at him. George, if you can hear me,
Joe.
George, if you can hear me, put up a number 4. Oh, that's pretty
Oh,
quick.
nice.
All right. Yeah, there's
All right.
hardly a delay at all.
Alright. Yeah, you're right. This Earth isn't reading. So I read this, and I studied for tomorrow. What should I read next?
Read the night before Christmas.
The Night Before
I
Christmas.
know an old lady who swallowed a pie. That's such a good book.
Can you read that one next? The Night Before Christmas.
Yeah, I think we need to get a doctor.
'Twas the night before Christmas, when all through the house not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. The stockings were hung by the chimney with care, in hopes that St. Nicholas soon would be there.
When you get it done.
The children were nestled all snug in their beds, while visions of sugar plums danced in their heads, and Mama in her kerchief, and I in my cap, had just settled down for a long winter's nap. When out on the lawn there arose such a clatter, I sprang from my bed to see what was the matter. Away to the window I flew like a flash, tore open the shutters, and threw open the sash. The moon on the breast of the new fallen snow gave the luster of midday to objects below. When what to my wondering eyes should appear but a miniature sleigh and 8 tiny reindeer, with a little old driver so lively and quick, I knew in a moment it must be Saint Nick. More rapid than eagles, his coursers they came, and he whistled and shouted and called them by name. Now Dasher, now Dancer, now Prancer and Vixen, on Comet, on Cupid, on Donner and Blitzen. To the top of the porch, to the top of the wall. Now dash away, dash away, dash away all. As dry leaves that before the wild hurricane fly, when they meet with an obstacle mount to the sky, so up to the housetops in the coursers they flew, with a sleigh full of toys and St. Nicholas too. And then in a twinkling I heard on the roof the prancing and pawing of each little hoof. As I drew in my head and was turning around, down the chimney St. Nicholas came without a bound. He was dressed all in fur from his head to his foot, and his clothes were all tarnished with ashes and soot. A bundle of toys he had flung on his back, and he looked like a peddler just opening his pack. His eyes, how they twinkled, his dimples, how merry. His cheeks were rosy, his nose was like a cherry. His little mouth was drawn up like a bow, and the beard on his chin was as white as the snow. I see you, Miss Wadle. You're on. I don't know if she can hear you, but I heard you, Mr. Gildersleeve. No, not through the computer. I can just hear you from the room. I can kind of hear Miss Wadle, I think. Yeah, I can hear you through the computer, Miss Wadle. Hold on. Say something, Miss Wadle. Yeah, I can kind of hear you. You're very faint, but I can hear you. I don't know why I can hear you, Mr. Gildersleeve. Oh, there's some. The strump of a pipe had held tight in his teeth, and the smoke it encircled his head like a wreath. He had a broad face and a little round belly that shook when he laughed like a bowl full of jelly. He was chubby and plump, a right jolly old elf, and I laughed when I saw him in spite of myself. A wink of his eye and a twist of his head soon gave me to know I had nothing to dread. He spoke not a word, but went straight to his work and filled all the stockings, then turned with a jerk, and laying his finger aside on his nose, giving a nod, up the chimney he rose.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, I can hear Miss.
Yes, the whole thing. What is it?
They're trying some new platform for.
Are they? I can hear myself.
Why are you listening to me?
Hello. I heard it. Can they see us?
I don't know.
There we are. Where?
Where's this? Oh, she muted herself.
She did. She muted herself.
I can barely hear you, Mr. Edwards. It's very faint.
I'm gonna try to figure out how to mute.
I don't know. I can see Miss Papa's classroom, I think. No, that's Mr. McMillan's classroom. Well, I'm just talking to the people now. Miss Papa muted herself because she's too loud.
Can you hear me now?
Do you hear that? Say something, Mr. Edwards.
I'm saying something. Can you hear me now? Jingle bells, jingle bells.
It's very, very faint.
I'm not sure where the mic is on this computer.
Yeah.
But Miss Papa's was clear as day.
Hello.
Yeah, Miss Papa's yours is a lot better.
You can probably hear me without the microphone.
Yeah.
Yes, we can.
I wish I could get the camera on there because.
You help me with the problems now.
What are you talking about? No. Should I mute it?
No, don't mute it.
Hey, is this too, like, easy?
Bruce Spring gets sent.
Oh, cool.
Funny.
I got one more page in this book.
Okay. So after I change that E to the 1-4.
Someone else now. Oh, it went away.
I don't really know what we're supposed to be doing right now. What am
I don't either. I'm just kind of sitting here reading The Night Before Christmas. There's Miranda. Oh, she went away. He sprang to his sleigh, and his team gave a whistle, and away they flew like down of a thistle. But I heard him exclaim as he drove out of sight, "Happy Christmas to all, and to all a good night." What a good book. Let's see what to read next. I know an old lady who swallowed a pie. Miss Waddles just went down. I know an old lady who swallowed a pie, a Thanksgiving pie which was really dry. Perhaps she'll die. It's a violent book. I know an old lady who swallowed some cider that rumbled and mumbled and grumbled inside her. She swallowed the cider to moisten the pie, the Thanksgiving pie, which was really too dry. Perhaps she'll die. Whoa. I know an old lady who swallowed a roll, just swallowed it whole, the entire roll. She swallowed the roll to go with the cider that rumbled and mumbled and grumbled inside her. She swallowed the cider to moisten the pie, the Thanksgiving pie, which was really too dry. Perhaps she'll die. Thanks, Kate Taylor.
I'm so sorry, I forgot.
It's a habit, isn't it? I know an old lady who swallowed a squash. Oh my gosh, a fat yellow squash. She swallowed the squash to go with the roll. She swallowed the roll to go with the cider that rumbled and mumbled and grumbled inside her. She swallowed the cider to moisten the pie, the Thanksgiving pie, which was really too dry. Perhaps she'll die. I know an old lady who swallowed a salad. She was looking quite pallid from eating that salad. She swallowed that salad to go with the squash. She swallowed the squash to go with the roll. She swallowed the roll to go with the cider that rumbled and grumbled, mumbled and grumbled inside her. She swallowed the cider to moisten the pie, the Thanksgiving pie, which was really too dry. Perhaps she'll die.
It's good.
I think pretty much everyone's going. I don't know what those two say.
I'm curious here. I guess we would just scroll because that's Waddle, right?
Miss Papas was clear.
It's Miss Waddle. What's Miss? Wait, is that Mr. Collins's profile picture? Who's
Tell
this?
Miss Waddle to talk and listen to her.
Miss Waddle, say something.
Oh, no, it's not saying
Oh, you're muted. I muted you. Sorry. Yeah, I can't hear you now.
it's very faint.
Is that where it's like tanks die? We get for having a rubber band holding this thing up here.
But Miss Papas was clear today.
Sorry, everyone.
Miss Papa, are you still on?
Wait, I gotta plug in this way.
Yeah.
We're still here.
Yeah, you're Robin, you're on.
What?
You are a lot. Wait.
What am I?
Oh.
Louder.
We can't hear you. It's not good sound.
Can you hear?
I don't need a microphone. You know, they can hear me down in Miss Novak's room if it's necessary. You can hear me where?
You're laughing.
What is 6 times?
Always having a good time down here in this end of the building. Always. You haven't had a good time yet. Now that is a lie. What?
We can barely hear you.
It's all muffled. It's like she's overtaking the main control now.
Yeah, she's really, really loud, even on the iPad.
She's really, really loud in general.
You can come in. It's just a live show.
I'm not saying that, but you can if you'd like to.
Okay, it's only Miss Waddle and Mr.
You're break-
Gildersleeve.
I think we're good.
All right.
I don't know what else they want us to do. I can hear you loud and clear, so the mic works, this works. There's no lag.
All right.
Mr. McMillan said it was a lot better, so.
You guys good? Can I hang up, Mr. Whoa.